Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of Season 4 of the Coffin Corner Podcast. I'm your host, GoodNightPunk, and with me, as always, is my good friend, Richie. Richie, what's going on, dude?
What's going on is that it's game day. Week 1 is here, and I am excited.
It is an interesting choice to have the Cowboys as your first game of the season, but
well, I think they're focusing more on the Eagles side of it than the Cowboys side, but yes.
Yes. Last season was our first game of the season was the Chiefs and the Bills. So I feel like we got kind of worse matchup to start this season, but it's football, so I'm excited anyway.
Yeah,
so
I thought that they would have gone Eagles Commanders. I mean, obviously based off the NFC Championship, division rivals, but hey, The Cowboys, they're America's team. So whatever, we get to see them get creamed on national TV to start the season. I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun one.
And then we get the Chiefs Chargers tomorrow. So it's like they have, instead of having the Super Bowl teams play each other, which they've done in the past, they're like, we'll just have them both play just, different nights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, it's week 1. We've done our fantasy drafts. It's time to make our
so
picks.
Many fantasy drafts. I'm so tired of fantasy drafts.
I literally did my last one last night. So yeah, that was fun. But the funny thing was, I'm the opposite, where I'm like, is it possible for me to join a league real fast and just do a draft this afternoon?
I kind of want to know what the chop leagues are in Sleeper. Have you seen that?
No.
Where you fight for your life with a team you draft?
Oh, I have heard of those, though. Guillotine leagues.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, guillotine leagues.
No.
Yeah, those sound pretty cool. I like the idea of a vampire league that I've heard of. It's
one where the last place team gets to take a person from someone's roster.
No, it's whoever. If you beat your opponent, you get to take somebody from their roster. So it's yeah. And I also, part of me, I don't know. I guess my drafts have gone so well this year that I'm just like, I want to do more of it. I feel like I've had some really bad ones and some really good ones, and I bet they all even out. Yeah.
That's the funny part.
It's usually how it works. Well, speaking
of drafts.
Yeah, speaking of fantasy, that leads us into our top 5, which I assume you took this right from last year's top 5.
Sure did.
Yeah, because I looked at it last week. I was like, oh, yeah, fantasy. So this week, top 5 fantasy players you didn't expect to draft. Always a fun one to do.
Got a few of them.
Yeah. This was actually a little tougher for me because like I said, I am very happy with how my drafts went. I got a lot of people that I was targeting, but there were some surprises. And I thought I'd start it off with a guy that I've talked about a couple times, DJ Giddens, the rookie running back for the Colts. I have a 16-team league. I've got some leagues with very deep benches. And I ended up taking him as like my 7th running back in some leagues, just as hey, Jonathan Taylor likes to get hurt. If he gets hurt again, this kid's in line to get some playing time, so why not?
It's funny. This is a bonus one then. I'll just say this because based on your DJ Giddens, Kyle Monaghan.
Oh, Montague.
Is that his name?
The Bears, yes.
Montague? Yeah, that's one. I've drafted him in several leagues just because of the fact that I don't believe in DeAndre Swift, so I'm like, maybe he'll do something.
Hey, stash him on your bench and see what happens.
These are dynasty leagues where I grabbed him, so...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's where I can waste the roster spot and be okay with it because I can just drop him at some point.
Yeah.
But if I grabbed him in a deep league, in a 14-team league in a dynasty, then thank God I have someone that's actually worth something. So...
Nice. I like it.
Non-dynasty, that goes to number 5. I picked up Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubba. Because I feel like the Panthers are going to be better than they were last year. Doesn't mean they'll be great, but I think they'll be better than last year. And somehow Chuba had a crazy year last year. And with Jonathan Brooks going down, their backup plan for running back is kind of chopped. And so Chuba's going to be the guy. Maybe the backup guys get some looks like they always do, but Chuba again for another year in a row going to be the guy. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, he had a very good year last year, and then they signed Rico Dowdle, but I don't know, he unimpressed me in Dallas, so I don't expect a whole lot out of him.
Yeah, when he got a full on season as him supposedly the number one, yeah, that didn't work out very well for him.
Yeah.
So
my number 4 is another rookie running back, Ollie Gordon. This one was kind of a late addition. Dolphins' backfield's gotten a little banged up. Achane likes to, miss time. He's a smaller guy. And so in a couple leagues, I took Ollie Gordon just to ride the hype train kind of late in drafts. And another guy to stash and see what happens. I think I only ended up doing it in like 2 leagues. But like I said, this was actually kind of hard for me to make because my teams went I was very pleased with my team. So... But, Gordon's one of those guys that, hey, if Achane gets hurt again and Wright is still out, maybe the rookie gets some playing time and see what he can do.
Based on my... Going off the top 5 again here, just because we're talking fantasy. 2 rookies you took you're talking about in your 5 and your 4. Let me tell you all the rookies I took in my new dynasty.
Okay.
Ashton Genty, Teteroa McMillan, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Shadur Sanders I just picked up because it's a deep league. Ollie Gordon, Kyle Monaho, Dante Thornton, and Mason Taylor.
Nice.
Ollie
nice.
Gordon. I'm with you on the Ollie Gordon thing.
And Dante Thornton.
It seems like he's going to...
I like that.
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. I'm liking... I wasn't really loving my dynasty team when I drafted it, but it's... Long term, it looks like it's probably going to be all right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid.
Crazy. Both of our number 4s were Dolphins because mine was Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, I love Waddle. I just think he's great. Tyreek Hill, who knows what's going to happen with him this season. He's already, on the injury watch?
He just lives on the injury watch at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So Jalen Waddle can stay, injury-free and not have one of those injuries that takes him out for 5 weeks or 6 weeks like he did last year. I'm excited for Jalen Waddle, especially with everything that's gone on with Tyreek Hill in the past 2 years with the Dolphins. I feel like Jalen Waddle's got a good chance to be right there at the top with Hill or over him as far as yards go.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill, this is his last year of his contract, so he does need to play for another contract. So he has some incentive, but he always gets hurt. He had some issues with Tua during the summer, so, is Tua even going to want to throw him the ball? I
asked for a trade at the end of the season last year. There's so many things with Tyreek Hill.
I like Jalen Waddle. I didn't end up getting him anywhere, but he was somebody I was looking at as like a third receiver because he was going super late.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I was surprised I got him.
Yeah, because it's one of those. It's
I think it was like 5th or 6th round I got Jalen Waddle. I'm like,
if Tyreek goes
when that
down,
offense is running.
Yeah, if Tyreek goes down, Jalen Waddle's like a top 10 receiver in the league. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
My number 3. So my plan with quarterback, I wanted to go quarterback early because the rushing aspect, and I wanted to lock the position, be done with it. I didn't get to do that in a lot of leagues because I picked either at the beginning of rounds or the end of rounds, and the run would start and I'd miss it. So I ended up with C.J. Stroud in, I think, 2 of my leagues, and I'm actually okay with it. They added a lot of weapons on offense. I like him to kind of bounce back from his quote-unquote bad year last year, even though it wasn't that bad. And I like C.J. Stroud kind of a bounce back, put up some points. They've got Nico Collins. They've got the 2 rookies. They've got Christian Kirk. And all their running backs keep getting hurt. So I think they're going to throw a lot.
Yeah. What do they got? Nick Chubb, Mixon's on the injured list for 4 weeks at least.
Yeah. Then they got Chubb, who
at
this point is kind of older himself, so who knows.
and Woody Marks, who, if you weren't a fantasy drafter, would probably not know who that is.
And Damian Pierce, who they clearly do not like because they signed Nick Chubb.
I used to keep watching. Yeah, I keep seeing people sign Damian Pierce, and I'm like, he's had so many chances just like this in the past to take over that role for a player that's been good in the past, and they do not do it.
Yeah.
He does not do it, or they don't give him that opportunity. So I don't see Damian Pierce being relevant in fantasy at all.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So, I've got number 3 is Marvin Mims, the second receiver on the Broncos. I foresee him having a breakout year. I mean, he was already breaking out towards the end of last year on a team where Bo Nix is throwing a lot. Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims, that's a pretty good combination, so I'm happy to have Mims on there. Especially with what he did last season, looking like what he could do this season.
Yeah. Yeah, Bo Nix, he doesn't get talked about as much as Jaden Daniels, but he had a great rookie year, and the Broncos are going to be a surprising team to a lot of people this year.
Yeah. They were a playoff team last year with Bo Nix, and they didn't go to the AFC Championship game, so obviously nobody really talks about Bo Nix the same way. But yeah, I think those two are definitely the top of that draft so far.
I took Bo Nix as my starter in one league. I was like, I trust him. But another quarterback, this only happened in one league, but I was just surprised because I had no interest in drafting him except it was round 10, and I was like, how is he still available? Patrick Mahomes.
That's why.
Yeah. He's not going to throw 50 touchdowns, but he'll still finish top 12. And at that point, I loaded up my roster with so many running backs and receivers, and I was like, this is a good enough quarterback. He's solid enough. That's all I needed from him. But it's just, it was only like 2 years ago the guy was a second-round pick, and now everyone's just kind of moved on.
Oh, I moved on 1,000%. So my keeper league, I drafted him in his second year after he made the Super Bowl, and I had him as a keeper for a second rounder for years, and I just could not keep him this year. His numbers went down so far as much as a quarterback that I just couldn't see keeping him as a second rounder.
No,
and it worked out in the end because
yeah.
I took Lamar Jackson in the first round. So yeah. I did upgrade my quarterback, letting him go, so that was nice.
Yeah, so that's
10th round. I can see 10th round for sure.
Yeah,
like there's not that's like I would think 6th round for Patrick Mahomes is low. 10th round is crazy, so
yeah,
I'm with you.
And it was one of those where, like I said, I wanted to go quarterback early because, like, Lamar, I just pulled it up because I was curious. Lamar Jackson scored 180 more points than Patrick Mahomes last year, so it's like it's definitely worthwhile to take them early. I just missed out on them in a lot of leagues, and I got Bo Nix in one, I got C.J. Stroud in a couple, but I just kept sitting there watching them go and sitting at round 10 like, I probably need to take a quarterback because some guy just taking his backup and I didn't even have a starter. And Mahomes was still sitting there. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I like I said, he's not going to be a top 5 guy. He's not going to throw 50 touchdowns, but he'll finish top 12. So that works.
Yeah. My number 2 is a guy that I drafted in our Dynasty League last year, and he rode the pine all year. He'll probably ride the pine all this year, but in other leagues, I kind of bought into the hype of this man gaining a bunch of muscle and a bunch of weight to bulk up to be a better number 1 receiver. That's Marvin Harrison Jr. So I didn't expect to draft him just because of having him on my dynasty team and me never playing him. But I needed a receiver, and considering what was around there in the 3rd round, I think it was, I took Marvin Harrison. And the funny thing is, in the chat after I took him, someone was like, well, I'm glad I'm not going to have to deal with him all next year. And I'm like, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's like, that's not what I want to hear. No, I ended up taking Marvin Harrison in our family league, actually. I just looked, it was round 5. I already had 2 receivers, but I was like, still there, and that is a solid third receiver. I agree. I do think they will get him more involved because they have to. You know, the coach, the GM, Kyler, they're getting to the point where they're going to be fighting for their jobs pretty soon. Get your best receiver more involved. Stop throwing to Greg Dortch, for the love of God, and throw to Marvin Harrison.
Seriously. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and my number 1, I said I wasn't going to do it. I lied.
Well, I've already called you on this multiple times.
Javonte Williams. I just can't quit him.
I do not understand.
No,
now
actually,
he's on the Cowboys of all places.
This is the reason I did it is because I actually like Jaden Blue, but Javonte's the starter right now. And when I was looking at my 4th running back, I said, well, instead of taking Jaden Blue, I'll take Javonte Williams and then take Jaden Blue later. That way, I'm covered. I took Javonte Williams. Nowhere is he starting. You know, that's the difference. He's not my 2nd or 3rd running back and in my starting lineups. But I did take him to just kind of, it's more of a reverse handcuff because, like I said, I think Jaden Blue wins that job sooner than later. So I took him. I think I only took him in 2 leagues, but you're in both those leagues. So you got to see it.
Yeah, I was in the draft for both of them. I'm like, what is this?
Yep. And the funny thing was, like, I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I know Punk's going to give me shit, but that's okay, because
yep.
This way, hey,
I saw it, and I'm like, what?
If Javonte Williams does have a career resurgence, you know, like a Sam Darnold moment, great, I've got him. If he doesn't, like I don't think he will, and he gets benched, I've got Jaden Blue. So
at least you're covered.
Yeah.
That's good. My number 1 is Chris Olave from the Saints. Another receiver where I don't believe in them very much, like at all. Chris Olave reminds me a lot of George Pickens. Just a guy. George Pickens. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, what has he done? Right?
Well, I guess when I think of George Pickens, I think of more the attitude. I don't know if Olave, I don't know his attitude.
It's not attitude. It's just production.
I was going to say
as
Brandon
far as
Cooks,
the comparison
where
there.
it's just all, like, constantly hurt. Just.
What is it, Mike Williams?
Yeah.
Not Mike Williams. The other guy from the Saints.
Michael Thomas. Yeah.
Michael Thomas. Yeah, he's just taking his spot.
Got paid and then stopped showing up, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, he's got the worst quarterback room in the NFL, probably.
Yeah, so I mean, he's had 72 receptions, then 87, then last year in 8 games, 32. So he's done well as far as yards and receptions go, but touchdowns has never been there. 4, 5, 1. I was just let me see if I can find where I took him, because that was another big thing for him that made it weird for me. Yeah, I took him in the 7th round. So
that's not bad.
I thought that was a good spot for him. And he's going to be starting, so that'll be the interesting part. Unfortunately, I think he's on one of the 2 worst rosters in the NFL right now. Yeah. But when you're the best receiver on the team, you got to think that they're going to throw it to you all the time. So that is what I'm hoping for, is that Olave gets a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns just because they are throwing so much from being behind.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, I think he'll do okay, because, I mean, even though it's Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck eventually, they will still find ways to get him the ball. He just needs to stop getting concussions.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Well, there you go. That is our top 5 players you didn't expect to draft. Be fun to see how they do this season, and if any of these work out. Moving on.
I was in 4 leagues last year. I won 2. I'm now in 6 leagues. So just to break even, I need to win 3.
Yeah, the odds have lowered in your favor.
Yes, exactly.
So moving into our news for week 1, not a lot of news. Announced just a little bit ago, Amari Cooper has decided to retire from the Raiders. I don't blame him.
After just signing to the Raiders like 3 weeks ago.
Yep, I don't blame him. I probably wouldn't want to be on that team either. Jets guard Elijah Vera Tucker tore his triceps, unfortunately, is out for the season. That sucks for Justin Fields and Breece Hall. And then you want to talk about the rivalry uniforms that were announced.
Yeah, dude, this is awesome. I didn't even know about these existing until the day they dropped. And as a big baseball fan, I think the City Connect uniforms that they came out with, that they have for 3 years, and then they announce new ones, is awesome. It's adding an extra layer to like what's already there, like your normal uniforms, but then you got these uniforms that you can also wear. And I know that in the past they've had like the color rushes that they only wore on like Thursdays, but like this is basically the NBA did this, the Major League Baseball did this, and now the NFL does this with these rivalry uniforms, and I think they're just freaking awesome. And this year they did the West divisions, so you got the AFC West, NFC West,
AFC East and NFC West.
It was AFC East?
Yeah. Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Okay. Well, next year it's North. I know for sure it's the NFC North next year. I don't know. Is it the AFC South? I thought it was AFC North too. So I know next year the Lions get theirs. But these things are freaking awesome looking. The Cardinals one, I'm waiting till the 10th to find out what the hats look like, because I'm probably going to buy one. Yeah, I might buy multiple teams' hats, because those rivalries, the Bills one looks awesome, the Dolphins one looks awesome, Niners, Cardinals is amazing. Like, these are just super cool.
Yeah, I'm curious because I didn't see any pictures of hats for any of the teams, which is the only thing that I would buy would be a hat.
Yeah,
but I do
that's
love.
What I'm waiting. Like, drop the hat looks.
Yeah, I love the Dolphins one because I think that neon or teal, I guess it is that on the black looks really sick. The Patriots kind of blue that they use is really cool.
I do like that Patriots uniform. Yeah.
And then, the 49ers with the gold trim on everything is pretty sick. We talked about this, when we texted. I'm not a super fan of the Cardinals. Somebody pointed out on Twitter it looks like a tortilla, and now I just can't unsee it. But I'm okay if the hat looks like that. I'm like, cool. I'd get that hat. I just don't plan on buying a full jersey that looks like that. But I would get if they had a white hat with like those gray and copper flecks in it. And I do like the Cardinals. They have kind of the copper shadowing on the font. I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah, and then the copper on the Arizona outline that has the flag in it. That thing looks sick too.
Yeah, there's some cool details on there. Although it doesn't beat the Bills iced logo on their sleeve. That's like it's a bill made of diamonds. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was the first one I saw. Was the video they came out with for that, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't seem like it's just an alternate uniform. Like, what's going on here? And then I started looking into it more after I saw how cool that was, and I'm like, oh, the Cardinals have one? And then I just kept looking, I'm like, oh, okay, so they did 2 divisions, and then I looked even more, and then I'm like, okay, so over the next 4 years they're going to keep announcing the new ones, and then after that the teams that just had theirs are going to come out with new ones. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's the AFC West plays the NFC East this year, so I think that's why they did it.
Gotcha.
Maybe? No, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they pick them, man. I'm curious to see the Commanders one, because it'd be cool if they have like some DC aspect to it. Would be pretty sick. But yeah, we shall see. But all right, well, it is week 1, which means it is time for our predictions. We broke down each division over the last 4 weeks. Now we're going to make our predictions on who we think are going to win the divisions, make the wild cards, the playoff predictions, our Super Bowl predictions. and then we'll dive into our week 1 picks. So I'll go ahead and start us off. And I want to preface this just by saying, peek behind the curtain. Dan did his first, then I did mine. When I was typing my division winners in, obviously I saw yours because they're right beneath mine. But when I did my playoffs, I just went through my division winners, matchups with wild card, went through my playoffs, went to the Super Bowl, looked at your Super Bowl, and went, well, that's weird. But yeah, we'll find out. So first off, NFC North. We'll just do the NFC. So I have the Lions winning the North, the Bucks winning the South, the Seahawks winning the West, and the Eagles winning the East.
Nice.
And
I was kind of thinking that our NFC West would be different, but it wasn't.
Well, and it's funny. I went and looked at the over-unders, and I think
I put them all at the bottom. I hope you noticed that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you had the Rams over 9.5. I thought you'd pick them to win the division.
No.
Yeah.
I have the Seahawks somehow better than them.
Yeah, I had the only team I had over on in that division was the Seahawks, so they were my clear winner.
Yeah. So mine were, I had the Lions winning the North, the Buccaneers winning the South, the Seahawks winning the West, and the Eagles winning the East, same as you.
Yeah, and I do want to preface this by saying, yes, I'm a Commanders fan. Yes, I know that no team has won the NFC East back-to-back since the Eagles did it in 2002 and 2003.
I also thought you would pick different on that one, too.
Well, I wanted to pick with my brain, not my heart. And despite the magic, weird coincidence that no team has repeated in 22 years, I don't factor that in when I look at this season. The Eagles, there's nowhere that they look like they got terribly worse. Yes, they lost some defensive players, but they also reloaded. And then the Commanders have a lot of questions of, is Jaden going to have a sophomore slump? Our defense really doesn't look like it's going to be anything. So I couldn't in good conscience pick the Commanders to unseat the Eagles. But if they do, and that tradition continues of no team repeating, that is just bananas. So,
well, I don't think it'll be the Cowboys. So
I would be.
If it does, it'll probably
absolutely floored if it was the Cowboys.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to the AFC. So AFC North, I've got the Baltimore Ravens winning. AFC South, Houston Texans. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs, and AFC East, Buffalo Bills.
And we did have a difference here.
We did.
Because I picked the Ravens for the North, the Texans for the South, the Bills for the East, but the difference here is I picked the Broncos to beat the Chiefs for the West.
Which I just didn't have the balls to do it. I do believe the Broncos have a shot. There's just a part of me that still believes that the NFL is just going to cheat to let the Chiefs continue to win. So,
yeah, well,
but
we will see.
I sure hope you're right. I will happily take the L on that one.
Yeah, right.
All right, so my playoffs. NFC, I had the Eagles as the 1, Lions as the 2, Seahawks as the 3, Bucks as the 4. My wild cards: Packers, Commanders, and Falcons. And then I'll stop there, and you can do yours.
Okay, so that leaves at least 2 differences for the 2 of us in NFC playoff teams.
All wild card
Our seating
teams.
was yeah, wild card teams. And our seating was a little different. So I had the Eagles 1 as well, Lions 2. But I had the Bucks 3, while you had the Seahawks 3. My Seahawks were 4. We both had the Commanders in the wild card. But instead of the Packers or the Falcons, I took the Rams and the Vikings. So...
Yeah.
Sorry, Packers fans. Didn't even pick you for the playoffs. But you got Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, the Rams are definitely an interesting one. I just wonder if Stafford can stay healthy the whole time. And then if he goes down...
As I said...
I know, you have faith in Garoppolo.
I still believe in Jimmy Garoppolo.
So that'll
that
be...
offense is too potent.
That'll be an interesting one for sure. AFC, I had the Bills number 1, Ravens 2, Chiefs 3, Texans 4, and then my wild cards were the Broncos, and then the Chargers. So I think 3 AFC West teams. And then, unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers sneaking their way in. Frankly, because I couldn't pick the Jets and Justin Fields. That was the only other team I considered. So,
Yeah, that made it tough. I left. Mine came down. I don't have the Chargers, so mine came down to looking at the over/unders, and just it'll be interesting. We'll talk about it in half a second here. But my number 1 seed was the Bills as well. Then the Ravens. I had the Broncos as the number 3 seed, and then the Texans. And then my wild cards were the Chiefs, then the Steelers, and then the Colts. I have Daniel Jones leading the Colts to the playoffs.
yeah, hey, good for Daniel Jones. After the Giants kind of, didn't really support him very much. If he can pull that off, hey, good for him.
What's kind of crazy about the Colts is they have a really good. They have the people, and Anthony Richardson just has not been able to do anything with it. Nothing's to say that Daniel Jones will, but Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco were able to turn Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell, Alec Pierce,
Michael Pittman,
and Jonathan Taylor running back there, Mo Alley Cox. They just got a good offense, and if Daniel Jones can just be a game manager for the Colts, I think they'll be good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they have a shot.
What was their record last year? It was pretty decent.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They were
right around 500, I think.
Yeah, probably 8-9, my guess.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Yeah, we both have the Steelers. That's more of a defensive, in my mind, and the fact that Mike Tomlin's going to win 9 games at least. Yeah. All right. So wild card round. In the NFC, I had the Lions over the Falcons, Commanders over the Seahawks, and Packers over the Bucks. In the AFC, my wild card, Ravens over the Steelers, Chiefs over the Chargers, and Broncos over the Texans.
So who's that leave after wild card round?
That leaves, in the NFC, the Eagles as the 1 seed, the Lions, the Commanders, and the Packers. And then the AFC, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Broncos.
So we both have end up with the same divisional teams for the AFC. And as far as the NFC goes, we have one different, it looks like. Two different,
yeah.
Yeah. So, my wild card round, I have the Ravens over the Colts. I have the Broncos over the Steelers. And the Chiefs over the Texans. That leaves the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and Broncos. And then for the NFC, I have the Lions over the Commanders. Payback. Bucks over the Vikings. And the Rams over the Seahawks. Which leaves for me the Eagles, Rams, Lions, and Bucks.
All right. Divisional round in the NFC, I have Eagles over the Commanders. I had to do it to myself. And the Lions over the Packers, leaving the Eagles and Lions.
Which is divisional rivalries for both the divisional round.
Yes, I was trying to think like the NFL. Like, how would they like to, quote-unquote, book the playoffs if this was the WWE?
Right.
And then in the AFC, I had the Bills over the Broncos and the Chiefs over the Ravens, leaving the Bills and Chiefs for the championship game.
You're definitely thinking like the NFL then.
Yes.
They would love that. My divisional round, I had the Bills over the Chiefs. So Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes, but not in Arrowhead. So that can still happen in the future. But I take Josh gets the win. Ravens over the Broncos. So now you've got the Bills and the Ravens for the championship round, and I got the Eagles beating the Rams at home and the Lions beating the Buccaneers at home, leaving the Lions and the Eagles for the championship round.
Yep, and in the championship, we have almost the same games. I have the Lions over the Eagles and the Bills over the Chiefs.
And then I have the Bills over the Ravens and the Lions over the Eagles.
So our Super Bowl ended up being the same two teams, which again, I swear on my life I didn't look at yours and copy. Also, because we have different outcomes. Unfortunately, in the Super Bowl, I have the Bills over the Lions.
Not to mention, this is a lot for me to pick my Lions like this.
I was kind of surprised. Like you are all on board. You know, normally you're very superstitious. So
I'm like, I can either go do nothing or go all the way. So I went all the way, and I picked the Lions over the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Did you pick the Lions last year to win?
I don't know who. Let me see.
I didn't know if this is the first time you've picked them outright to win, but yeah,
to win the Super Bowl. I've never picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Okay,
that's for sure.
So there you go. Yeah, we ended up with the same two teams. Just different outcomes. So it will be interesting to see how close we get. I think odds are we'll end up with the majority of those teams right. I think maybe we'll just have some different wild cards. But
yeah, those are always the toughest ones.
Yeah,
you're like, which 8 and 9 teams gonna make the wild card somehow?
Yeah, which the Patriots. People are picking them to break out. Are they going to break out enough to make the wild card? Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our predictions for the season. Now we can dive into our week 1 foreplay and picks and fantasy sleepers and just get into a kind of regular season mode. So let's start off with our Thursday night foreplay for tonight. I am going with the Eagles -6.5, so win by a touchdown, under 55.5 points. Jalen Hurts 200+ passing yards, and Saquon Barkley 80+ rushing and receiving yards. So combine those two for a +342. And I used my FanDuel no sweat $10 bet. They're not a sponsor, but I'll give them a shout out anyways if they want to give me some free shit.
I used my Caesars 100% bonus.
Oh, on the odds? See, I FanDuel did that too, where it was a 50% bonus. I just did a straight up Eagles money line bet with that because I was like, that feels more secure.
Yeah. Mine is more Cowboys heavy because I feel like it's going to be a high scoring game that the Eagles win. But I picked the Cowboys +14. So I got them within 2 touchdowns.
I'd be amazed if that one doesn't hit. I mean, I think they'll lose, but not by that much.
Exactly. CD Lamb touchdown.
Nice.
I have Dak Prescott over 1.5 touchdown passes. So two at the least. I think he can do that. And then the one that brought the odds up the highest is George Pickens under 56.5 yards receiving.
And that's going to be the one that he's going to catch 59 yards. Like,
I mean, that's what always happens.
Yeah, that's going to be the one that just knifes you in the back.
He'll make a catch and on the last drive of the game that'll get him to like 58 yards.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about placing a George Pickens anytime touchdown because I'm just like, I feel like they're going to use him. Like, they want to force him a touchdown in week 1 just to show, like, hey, we knew what we were doing. That seems
this was a good trade.
Yeah, seems like a Jerry Jones thing. Like, I know I messed up with Micah Parsons, but look what I did. But yeah,
by the way, Micah Parsons, that whole thing went on for how long? And then, like, 2 days after he's traded, Deron Bland gets a massive contract. And you're like,
nope.
You wouldn't pay Micah Parsons, but here you're like, Deron Bland, throw money at him.
Nope.
Like, what? I was just like, this team has no
From
idea.
what I can understand, Jerry Jones, like, I guess he was talking to Micah Parsons back in, like, March or some crap. And, like, they were discussing a contract. And Jerry Jones thought they had an agreement. It was one of those, like, kind of, oh, yeah, this is what we're kind of both looking for. And Jerry Jones thought that meant, like, oh, we've agreed to terms. Now all he has to do is sign it. And Micah Parsons was like, well, no. my agent needs to negotiate with you, and here's what I want, and it needs to be in writing, blah, blah, blah. And Jerry Jones got so pissed that he's like, I'm not signing this guy. Like, he's so old school. He's like, no, we had a handshake agreement, and he turned his back on me, so I'm not paying him no matter what. Like, that is apparently what the report out of Dallas is. And it makes me laugh so hard because I am so glad it's happening to the Cowboys and not the Commanders. Because that's shit that Dan Snyder used to pull.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Yeah. All right, well, it's our foreplay. It'd be nice to start off the season with a win, so let's see what happens. Now moving into our Week 1 preview. So I was hoping you would have put last year's finish on here just to remind me how badly.
Hold on, I can go grab it.
Yeah, pull it up real quick.
I will go grab it
I know
right
you beat
now.
me, but I was curious what your percentage was again because it was pretty dang high.
All right, so let's go with. Where are we? That's not it. I'm finding. Oh, regular season. Here we go.
Yeah.
The final regular season, I was 195 and 86, which was 69.4% correct.
Dang.
And you were 186 and 91, which was 67.1%.
Oh, that ain't that bad.
Yeah, so
I thought you beat
percentage
me by like 20 games or something, but I mean, both of us getting over 2/3 right is pretty amazing. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So let's see if we can keep that going. Starting off with tonight's game, Dallas at Philadelphia. Philly is favored by 8.5. I mean, I think based off of our bets on our foreplay, we're both going Eagles.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Eagles. I think that if it's 8.5, I would probably take Dallas on the spread.
That's why
I'm super
on my
stoked.
bet. I alted the line down to 6.5 because I'm like 8.5 is a weird line.
Yeah, for sure. I super excited for everybody that's joined our Coffin Corner Pick'em once I revived it.
Yeah, there's a lot more people in there.
25 people in there.
Yeah,
it's great.
I made sure to go in and do my picks yesterday because I forgot that existed until I got a notification on it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got Kansas City at the Chargers. Kansas City favored by 3.
I am taking the Chargers.
Ooh.
It's -3, which means they're not super believed that the Chiefs are going to win that, and the Chargers are at home. So, first game of the season, Chargers at home.
I think this is another international game, isn't it?
Oh, is this the Friday one?
This is
Friday.
Friday,
It is international.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then that changes things. I'm going to take the Chargers.
All right. I am going to take the Chiefs. I do like the Chargers. I need to see the NFL not cheat for the Chiefs before I start believing that they won't. So Week 1, I feel like they're going to want the Chiefs to win so that people can forget how bad they looked in the Super Bowl. So I'm going Chiefs. All right, so moving on to Sunday's games, we got Carolina at Jacksonville. Jacksonville favored by 3.5.
Tough one.
I'm going to go
I
Jags.
just took
I'm going.
I know you were.
Yeah, I'm going Jags.
You don't believe anything. You think that the Carolina Panthers are going to go on 16? So
No, Saints are going to go in 16.
It's tough to say. I'm going to go with Jacksonville simply for the fact that I want to see how Carolina comes out the gate.
That makes sense. Yeah. Hey,
Historically, the Jaguars better than the Carolina, so picking the Jaguars is a safe bet, even though I think Carolina has a chance to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, they could come out and I mean, the funny thing is like technically you'd be an upset, but I think this game is very close. I'm just going with, I like Liam Cohen. I like the Jaguars' weapons, their running game. We'll see. Hey, maybe Bryce Young can make a believer out of me.
Fantasy drafters didn't like Jacksonville's running game because Etienne was...
That's because there's 3 different running backs. They have no idea who's going to be the starter.
Double-digit rounds for Etienne.
They literally, ESPN just had Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, and Bashal Tutin were all just one on top of each other because they don't know who's going to be the number one. Which sucks because whoever ends up being the starter will finish very high. But it's just don't know which one's going to be.
I just hope you drafted the right one.
Yep, pick a briefcase.
That's why I didn't draft any of them.
Yeah, same. All right, we got the Giants at the Commanders. Commanders favored by 5.5.
All right, I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, I do really like the Giants' defensive line. They've got a lot of talent on there. It would kind of ruin my season right off the bat if we lost a divisional matchup at home to the fucking Giants. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, that'll make this show super.
Yeah. Oh,
miserable.
I will be livid next week if that happens. All right. So we got Pittsburgh at the Jets. Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Justin Fields revenge game. Pittsburgh favored by 2.5, which seems kind of low to me, but
seems low.
Yeah,
for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's defense against Justin Fields.
I mean, their defense, I guess. I don't. Who's their receivers now?
Pittsburgh?
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, they got Metcalf, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, what did Metcalf do for the last 2 years? So congratulations, but you're not getting 3 years ago DK Metcalf. And I don't know who else they have. Who do they have?
I know Robin Wilson as somebody that
okay, so that's that's their number 2. Yeah, exactly. I'm taking the Jets.
Well, I'm taking the Steelers. I just think that defense is going to be too much for the Jets to handle.
Well, the Jets have a defense too, so that's the difference to me.
All right. Then we got Arizona at New Orleans. Arizona favored by 6.5.
Yep, give me Arizona for sure.
Yeah. Again, if the Cardinals lose this game, it's going to just ruin the entire season in week 1.
Everything starts off bad.
Yeah. That would be an absolute embarrassment to lose. So... Oh, boy.
Exactly.
All right. Las Vegas at New England. New England favored by 2.5.
I'll take the Patriots.
Yeah, me too.
Because while Amari Cooper is retiring, Diggs has a clean bill of health. So.
Yep. And Trayvon Henderson looks really good. Yeah, I think the Patriots. This should be a fun one to watch this year. Miami.
I think it'll be awesome to have Diggs lining up across from Demario Douglas so that Demario Douglas starts to advance a little bit more in his career because I really do like Demario Douglas.
Yeah. Plus they've got, was it Kyle Mitchell? I think it's like another rookie or young receiver they drafted. So
Kyle Williams.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
My accidental first-round pick from the draft. No, second-round pick. Okay.
All right. Then we got Miami at Indy. Indianapolis favored by 1.5.
Miami at Indy. See, this is the thing, right? You would think Miami would be favored in this game, but they're in Indianapolis. Colts have a good offense. I think I'll take the Colts at home.
I thought
if this were in Miami, I would take Miami.
Yeah,
since it's in Indianapolis.
I was hoping you'd pick the Dolphins because I think the Colts, like you said, Daniel Jones. I think they're going to surprise some people, and I just don't trust Miami's defense very much. So
true.
All right, then we got Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati favored by 5.5.
That's so high.
It is really high.
We already had so many different in week 1. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, because Cleveland always beats up on Cincinnati. And on top of that, Cincinnati never starts strong. So it's either bet against history where Cincinnati starts strong, or go with history where Cleveland beats up on Cincinnati and Cincinnati doesn't start strong. It's funny. I don't think I put the Bengals in the playoffs this year.
I didn't. Yeah.
So, this is a tough one.
Well, I will go Bengals. Joe Burrow played well into the preseason because they know they don't start strong. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are going to come out with a much more purposeful game plan than they have the last couple of years.
I would like to believe that as well, but they knew the problem for 2 years and it still never got fixed. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Bengals, despite saying that.
All right, both going Bengals. That'll be an interesting one. If the Browns win, you're gonna be really upset with yourself.
I'm gonna be real upset because you know what? Fuck it. Give me the Browns.
I was gonna say you should be trusting your gut. You're like I'm the one that has to take wild swings. You should just be going with your gut. All right, we got Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay favored by 1.5.
I'll take Tampa Bay.
Going with the Bucks. Yeah, I do think Atlanta should be better this year, but I can't pick against Tampa Bay. They're just too freaking good. All right, and then San Francisco at Seattle. San Francisco favored by 2.5.
This one confuses me. You're in Seattle. Why is San Francisco? I'm taking Seattle.
I don't know what is up with Vegas and why they are so in love with the 49ers right now. I'm taking the Seahawks too. We talked about it when we did the over-unders. The over-under for San Francisco is 10.5.
10.5.
Yeah.
What?
I really don't get it. I don't know. Maybe we're all just crazy and the odds makers know what they're doing. But it just sure seems like they don't know what to do with San Francisco. But yeah, going with Seattle.
Exactly.
They'll win at home. And I think maybe people will look at San Francisco and be like, oh, they lost a lot this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Tennessee at Denver. Denver favored by 8.5.
Big line. I'll take Denver.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, 8.5, maybe not, but definitely Denver gonna win.
I was say I'm excited to see Cam Ward in that game to see what he looks like.
Yeah, I do like Cam Ward. Denver's got a fantastic defense though, so it is a tough first game to have in the NFL. So good luck, Cam.
Welcome to the NFL game.
Yeah. All right, Houston at Los Angeles Rams. Rams favored by 3.
I like the Rams. I'll take the Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Texans. I'm gonna take a shot on C.J. Stroud bouncing back. I think I'm gonna go with the Texans. All right. Then we got a big one: Detroit at Green Bay. This is the game of the afternoon. Green Bay favored by 2.5.
I don't even know where to go on this one for week 1. That's tough. Lions have beat Green Bay in Green Bay the last 3 years. But it's week 1 and everyone's going to be hyped up. I don't know. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Yeah, we'll go with the Lions. Or I'll go with the Lions too.
This is a tough, and I'll tell you why I'm going with the Lions. Because if the Lions lose this game, 2 annoying things happen. 1, everyone that's been saying the Lions are going to regress without Ben Johnson will be proven right, and they will talk about that shit all week. 2,
they'll think they're proven right.
Yes. All the idiots that already think Green Bay is a Super Bowl contender because of Micah Parsons will just think they've also been proven right and we'll talk about that all week. Basically, if the Lions lose this, I'm not listening to any radio or social media next week because that's all it will be. So, yeah, for the love of God, Detroit, do not lose this game. Then we got Sunday Night Football, great matchup. Baltimore at Buffalo, rematch from the playoffs. Baltimore favored by 1.5.
1.5 in Buffalo. That line kind of is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bills based on the Hard Knocks. They've got all the everyone's behind them right now. So the Bills are going to be on national TV with everyone rooting for them. I think they win at home.
I'm going with the Ravens to get a little bit of revenge from the playoffs.
We're going to have like parity in the picks.
Yeah.
From week 1.
It'll be interesting.
It's crazy.
I'm digging myself a huge hole. And then we got Vikings-Bears Monday night, Minnesota by 1.5.
Why would they put Bears on Monday night in week 1? What is this? I'm taking the Vikings.
Going with the Vikings. Yeah. I've talked about it the last couple of weeks with the Bears. I really do hope Ben Johnson can turn them around, but until I see it, I'm not going to pick it. So I'm going with the Vikings.
How many different we have?
We've got 1, 2,
5, I think.
3, 4, 5. Yep. And for my bonus,
I just need to go 3 and 2 to feel good about those.
Well, my bonus, I'm going to go with one of the ones we have different, which is Pittsburgh and the Jets. I'm going to put my bonus on the Steelers.
Gotcha. All right, well then I will put my bonus on the Rams.
All right. All right, there you go. It'll be a fun week 1.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and let's dive into our fantasy sleepers for week 1. So at quarterback, we talked about the game. I'm going with Daniel Jones against the Dolphins. He's ranked 17th at quarterback. They've got a lot of weapons that you talked about. Their receivers. They got Tyler Warren at tight end. I think if he can just manage the game, protect the ball. I don't like Miami's defense. I think he's a solid sleeper, being ranked outside the top 12.
Nice. I went with Bryce Young against at Jacksonville. He's a 21st ranked QB, and I think that he, after all of our preseason podcasts and my talk about the Panthers, there you go, taking Bryce Young in my first sleeper.
But you didn't pick the Panthers to win.
You can still have a good fantasy game and lose.
I'm just trying to get you yet another one different.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like 5. I'm not going for 6.
So, running back. I'm going with DeAndre Swift simply because Ben Johnson likes to run the ball, and he's ranked 27th. I think based off volume alone, he should finish higher than that.
Unless they're losing by 30.
If they're losing by 30 to J.J. McCarthy in week 1, then the story will be J.J. McCarthy is Tom Brady.
If they're losing by 30, the story is Justin Jefferson had 4 touchdowns.
Good. I have him somewhere.
Yeah. Mine is Breece Hall from the Jets against Pittsburgh. He's the 26th ranked running back. I think Breece Hall is going to have a bounce back year this year after not being smothered in an Aaron Jones?
Rodgers.
I was going to say Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers offense. Aaron Jones came to mind for some reason.
Yeah, it'll be nice that Aaron Rodgers isn't there to audible out of every run to pad his own stats. So Breece Hall will actually get the ball.
Hand the ball to a guy that was a running back on the rise that got stifled for years under Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, for sure.
Wide receivers, I'm sticking with the Colts. I went with a double up. Michael Pittman versus the Dolphins. He's the 43rd ranked wide receiver. So, yeah, I figured, hey, Daniel Jones is going to go out there and have himself a pretty solid day. He'll be throwing to Michael Pittman.
I like it. I got Stephon Diggs of the Patriots versus the Raiders because he is ranked 42nd for some reason.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he's their number one receiver. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. I like that one. I think people are really undervaluing Diggs. I took Diggs in a couple leagues as my third receiver.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And he's going to have he had a good year last year with the Texans.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last up, we're doing tight end / defense because tight end's terrible. And I decided to go with the defense as well. I went with the Seahawks defense against the 49ers, the 17th ranked defense. I like some of the guys they've added. I like the defensive coordinator, the head coach, Mike McDonald's a defensive guy. And I just don't believe in the 49ers this season at all. Sorry, Maggie.
I took the Cardinals defense because I feel like they added so much to their defense to be better this offseason. Then on top of that, they're playing the Saints.
Yeah.
One of the top 2 worst teams in the NFL. So that defense should show out in week 1.
Yeah, I would have picked them, but you had already picked them. So that's just to be clear. The Cardinals are my number one choice.
Gotcha.
All right, well, there you go. We are all set for week 1.
We're looking good. I like it.
It's going to be a fun week. The crazy thing with week 1 is there's always stuff that surprises you. The Patriots beating the Bengals last year. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we're talking about next week with, like, what we did not see coming. Like, oh, my God, the Vikings beat the Bears by 30. Like, that's, yeah. It's going to be... I'm excited. I cannot wait to watch some football. As long as the Commanders, Cardinals, and Lions all win, I won't have anything to rage about next week.
Did you happen to... Off topic. Did you happen to watch the Bill Belichick college reveal game? His first college game?
I had it on. I wasn't super paying attention while I played some WoW. But I saw them get destroyed.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's hilarious because you always hear people talk about how teams will always look good on their first and second drive because they're all scripted, right?
Yeah.
And so first drive for North Carolina absolutely goes exactly as they planned it, 7 points. And then freaking their opponent just rolls off 44 points or something on them. And they get absolutely destroyed. But after that first drive, the commentators, Twitter, everyone's going crazy, talking about how good North Carolina is going to be, this or that, and then the truth comes out. They've got a lot of work left to do. I think that they can be I think North Carolina can be a good team. They got some good players, but that scripted first drive always gets everybody.
Yeah.
They're going to destroy them this game.
Yeah, it's funny how often teams, they'll score early and then they don't score again. It's like that's poor adjustments. Like that's poor coaching.
Yeah.
I always look to teams that coming out of halftime, like they look like an entirely different team because it's like, oh, that's good coaching. Like they've made the adjustments. Belichick, obviously one of the best coaches in NFL history, most successful, blah blah blah. I think people starting to realize now that Brady is responsible for a lot of that success after he went to Tampa Bay and won another ring. Like, yeah, Belichick is very good, but if he hadn't had Brady, he ain't winning 6 championships or whatever the hell they won.
And you have to, the game between college and the NFL is completely different.
Yeah.
Trying to run NFL level offenses and defenses in college just will not work.
Yeah.
These are not all pro players you're working with, and some of them just cannot grasp the things you're trying to teach.
Yeah,
So,
some of those guys are not going to be professional players. They're gonna go become like real estate agents and crap like after they graduate, and that's fine. It's just it's hard to turn a team around after one season because you have recruiting in the transfer portal, but it's not the same as being able to sign anyone you want. So,
and they got a lot
of
transfers. They have a lot of really good players there. The difference is they've never played together.
yeah.
And a spring and summer practicing is not gonna. It's not the same as playing games, So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching that team though. It's fun.
I'm looking forward to just paying more attention to college football this year. Like I usually pay attention to individual players just for the draft, but now it's more of a I'm actually enjoying like following the games and the teams and stuff. So it'll be fun. But all right, well there you go. We will we'll be back. I think what are we going to try to do for recording? Are we going to try to do Wednesdays? It's tough with the raids.
I'm going to be
so
we'll have to figure it out because I would rather do it on Friday nights over to
Friday nights. All right. Well, should we just plan on doing that and then we can pick? Well, yeah, we just won't be able to pick Thursday games.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
it should be fine. So, all right, Wednesday last season was the only time we did Wednesdays. Before that was all Fridays anyway.
No, we did before we started rating. We did Wednesdays.
Okay, so first season it was on Fridays. Second season, third season was Wednesday. We'll just go back to Friday. Anyways, we can talk offline about that. Anyways, everybody, if you're listening to this, go check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@Coffin Corner. And if you are watching this on our YouTube, you can listen to it anywhere, and then you don't have to see our face. So you can go to any podcast place and search for Coffin Corner. And when you see that pylon logo, you know it's us, and you can listen from anywhere. In this coming weekend on football, you can catch us at Coffin Corners on X, or you can find me at Den Defenders for the Lions game and at Hail Hogs for Richie for the Commanders game. We're going to try to be more active on the Coffin Corner Twitter. I'll probably be on there live streaming the game tonight on Coffin Corners, so come hang out. It'll be fun. All right, well, we'll be back next week, and since my team is actually playing someone this week, good luck to everyone and their favorite teams, unless they're playing the Lions. We'll see you next week.